KFAN.
Scott Fish, just come on up here, stand right up here. Just come around there. Welcome back to the.
Just going to stand there?
Yeah, because we're going to get him a round of applause. Welcome back to the Friday Football Feast. Sneaking up on like 10:10, something like that. Where are you? My man, you're circumnavigating. You're covering more ground than Lewis and Clark. I feel like it's a race at Canterbury off the far turn. Yeah. Scott Fish now with a quarter of a mile to go, surging on the outside into the final furlong, and he wins right there. This man right here, his name is Scott Fish. All right, so fantasy football fans may recognize him from Fantasy Football Weekly with Paul Charchian when that was a thing. But this 10 a.m.-ish segment that we've done every Friday Football Feast, it's called IHoP, IHoP, in honor of Paul. And Paul Charchian, for his decade and one-half service, he gave to the Friday Football Feast as the identity of fantasy football. And in case he and his wife Roxy are listening right now, round of applause for Charge. Out Utah way and everything since 2009, he provided the station and this radio show. So in honor of Paul, we crafted a fantasy football segment all the way back to Buffalo Wild Wings Crystal, I think, week 1, through where we are now. Well, Scott, he's part of, owns, runs something called fantasycares.org. Fantasycares.org. And support it if you have it in you. And here's why. Because Scott approached us a month and change ago, maybe 2 months ago, and said, this fantasy game that you're doing, where, you know, you get 6 points for rushing and receiving touchdowns, 4 points for passing touchdowns, 2 points for two-point conversions, things like that. He said fantasycares.org wants to give $50 a point to the charities of our choice. Alec chose the Kyrie Jackson Foundation. Nordo chose Feed My Starving Children. And I chose Second Harvest Heartland, something in which I believe, but mostly because Chris Finch, coach of the Timberwolves, has joined the 9 to noon radio show ever since he got here, and basically is like, I'm on the board at Second Harvest Heartland, so if you could just pop that a couple of times, we're all good. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do Second Harvest Heartland. Well, now we head into the final Friday Football Feast, and for 2025. I have 66 points. Alec has 60 points. Nordo has 46. So you take those numbers times 50. Chris Finch a month ago came on 9 to noon and said, whatever total you finish with, Paul, I will match for Second Harvest Heartland. Last week, Thousand Hills, why don't you explain what they did?
Yeah, Thousand Hills lifetime grazed, grass-fed beef, Clearwater, Minnesota's finest. They said they would match whatever I accrued to support Feed My Starving Children.
So now that gets us into this week. This baby game, this little baby IHOP fantasy game for these 3 charities, thanks in large part to Scott Fish and fantasycares.org, has generated $15,100 for Feed My Starving Children, Second Harvest Heartland, and the Kyrie Jackson Foundation. Give Scott a round of applause, please, for his philanthropic ways, his kindness, and his enterprising nature to come up with the idea. So we appreciate you, brother. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, man.
So what we're going to do this week to close things out is we each get to select a running back and a wide receiver. And when I vetted this out, I ran it by Fantasy Cares before we did it. I don't think we got to run it by Thousand Hills or Finch. I think we're going to be okay. But we each are going to get, because Scott's like, well, you should use a Minnesota Viking this week to kind of, pump up the Egan Feast. And I mean, with all due respect to my favorite team, you're trying to find a touchdown. So the idea that I came up with is we each get Will Reichard's points total.
Exceptional.
Okay?
There we go.
So let's kick 5 field goals this weekend. Will the Thrill, the Alabama kid, that would be 15 there. Say we mix in a couple of touchdowns, get up to a 17, and that would be times 15. for our charity. So $15,100. We all get Will Reichard's points. We each get to pick any running back and any wide receiver we want from this weekend. Let's begin with the con, Nordo.
Season's on the line.
Here it is.
And you mentioned the name during our text thread. I'm going to take for my wide receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba.
You just sniped me.
Against well, that's the thing.
I'm taking him.
We can all take
him.
We can take whoever we want. There's no sniping.
We're not big New Year's resolutions guys, Nordo or I.
I am.
Like we can make changes on July 18th if we want.
Correct.
However, we with resolve. The resolution for you next year is that you actually read the set list emails that are sent on Thursday with what's coming up. But anyway.
No, I was locked in yesterday. I told you that at practice.
You call that locked in? That's one way to look at it. So Jackson Smith and Jigba, who else?
Against those ratty
Love
Niners.
it.
And then Sunday Night Football, I'm going to be rooting for Derrick Henry to run the Ravens into the playoffs with an AFC North title. I just think Henry has been that guy, that workhorse, that stud for them over the last month.
Yep.
So I'm rooting for Mr. Smith and Jigba and Mr. Henry to get some points and get some cash for Feed My Starving Children.
And our bit is just touchdowns. So, like, if we had used Derrick Henry against the super special green and gold last game, holy cow. I mean, that's a betting bonanza right
24
there.
24 points, something like that.
24 points. So we all get Reichard's points. Jackson Smith and Jigba and Derrick Henry for the producer.
Yes, please.
What about you, Mr. Alec? You can use the same too if you want.
The running back, I'm going to take Jahmyr Gibbs.
Wow.
Against the Bears.
Wow. Right in Ben's face after putting a 52 on him week 2.
I just think the Lions, I mean, the Lions are struggling right now. They've fallen back to the basement here where they are very comfortable living. But it's kind of a pride game. They probably aren't going to be able to throw the football in that weather. So Jahmyr Gibbs. The receiver, I was going to take JSN.
If you want to, do it.
Yeah.
And I'm rethinking it. I'm looking at the schedule.
You're rethinking it because I took him?
Yeah, no, I want to zig and win.
Fair.
I want to zig and win. I'm going to take JSN too. And we're just going to watch that game together. I'll be texting you.
Yeah.
Be sweet.
And I'll enjoy it. But those are going to be my two, Jahmyr Gibbs and JSN. I took JSN earlier in the season.
Yeah.
He didn't pay off for me. So.
Right. Well, ever since Jackson Smith and Jigba ran into Brian Flores, whole thing's changed. The whole thing has changed. He week 4 versus San Francisco, okay? Jackson Smith and Jigba, Seattle wide receiver, 9 catches, 124 yards. No touchdowns, but very reputable game. Jackson Smith and Jigba had 8 100-yard games into the game against the Vikings.
Can I give you a quick thing?
He went 2 catches, 23 yards that day. He has 1 100-yard game the rest of the season. Yeah, we don't need to make it blank check terrorism for Brian Flores, do we?
I, midway through the season in the locker room, I was talking to Justin Jefferson at his locker, and he's like, man, what JSN is doing is crazy. I'm like, did they not double team him the way that they double team you? And he's
no
like,
kidding.
Justin's like, I know, man, it's crazy. Well, Brian Flores double teamed him, and that was it's really been it from there.
You know what this is going to force us to do, though? I mean, it doesn't, I'm not being forced. We're really rooting for Sam Darnold on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
We're rooting for Sam Darnold, which I think is totally okay to do. And as the rube that I am, we can put aside why wasn't he staying here? Why did he go? Bright lights, big moments, how it didn't work out last year, how it will work out on Saturday night, not just for charity, but for him to get a monkey off his back, right? I mean, what did he learn from Week 18 last year with it all on the line? What did he learn from the 9 sacks terrorism in the playoff game with the Rams? And how is he going to put that in play on Saturday night against Shanahan's group?
How could he sleep the night before the game knowing that, the opportunity that he just, threw aside last year, he is going to have this same opportunity? I don't know. I mean, the pressure of that, but
that's why I'm excited about it. I have nothing on the line. I don't root for the Seahawks. Don't care about the Seahawks. But there's something about, he got slapped in the face a year ago. He did not meet the moment. He moves on to another team. There is something remarkable about now winning, 27 games the last 2 years with 2 different teams and finding his way in the identical spot a year later where the entire bit is
Unbelievable.
on the line if he is just better in the red zone effectively than he was 365-ish days ago.
It's true, but I will say of late, like, he has struggled, and that offense has been carried by Mike McDonald's defense. So it's going to be a fun one. Going to be interesting to watch. PA, do you have your picks? What are what are you Googling?
Well, no.
You texting Scott Fish for answers?
Well, it's
what
Nordo said got me going a little bit.
Okay,
because it's like, okay, are we going to be rooting for this? No, not necessarily. But Jackson Smith and Jigba scoring a bunch of points for all these charities, that's the A topic. But he went 9-124, but no touchdowns week 1.
Right.
Seattle lost the game. It was a lower scoring game. San Francisco's defense, I heard Nordo the other day talking about the lack of potency with the pass rush. I mean, it's really, really fallen off late in the season.
Their team is so beat up, man.
Right.
They're still winning.
All those points and yards they gave up. I wanted to take Jackson Smith and Jigba. And it's not that I don't like the pick. I actually love the pick. I'm just not sure that we want to marry ourselves all three.
That's kind of
one guy.
I don't think we want to marry ourselves all three.
Yeah, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to take.
No, you're really convicted.
I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb. I'll take CeeDee Lamb
against the Giants
at the New York Giants.
Well, the Giants were really good, so that's.
I'll take CeeDee Lamb, and then my running back is going to be DeAndre Swift. All right, and
really,
I touched on this a little earlier in the week. It's if you follow Nordo and Prize Picks, okay, if you're part of that Prize Picks covenant. I don't know if it's going to happen, but what Ben Johnson is going to try to do to Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions should be what, Alec?
Felonious in 8 states.
In 48 states. Yeah. Week 2.
Going to get you a map for your birthday.
Week 2, these Lions caught the Bears before this new coach had things hit legit full throttle and made the mistake of scoring 52 on them. And when Ben Johnson left through the tunnel, from what I'm told, I mean, a lot of people were getting after him, and they just forgot the respect that they should have for this elite offensive mind. That was week 2. This is week 18. Andy's at home, and he needs to win. We just saw the Lions. If it's possible to score 70 points in this game, Ben Johnson's going to do it. He will not stop. Mark my words. So I think DeAndre Swift's going to be a big part of it, and he's also a former Lion. So Ben, taking the context and the layering of it, former team, put up 52 on me, screw you. I'm going to make your former running back the identity of this game, and he's going to score at least 3 times on you. So I'll take DeAndre Swift and CeeDee Lamb.
I like CeeDee Lamb. The thing that I struggled with is trying to find, and I think you
Smith
did.
and Jigba's the right pick.
I think you did with CeeDee, but I was struggling to dig into games that effectively don't matter.
Yeah,
so we got division games and rivalries. What are the circumstances? I was chatting with Scott, actually, Olave's out, but just thinking about certain teams and high-enders that certainly would be an A-plus selection in any other week. But there are some people that got some cruises booked and some ideas of let's get that quick exit interview done the next day. Let's get out alive, sans injury, and let's just go hang out in Turks and Caicos for a month.
All right. Justin's kind of a sneaky pick. Justin against this Packers defense that may not be playing starters is kind of a sneaky pick.
This, speaking of their secondary.
A little force feeding?
This, and I don't think it's going to happen because Bo Melton, he hasn't played any defensive snaps, but they work him out at defense and practice, stuff like that. This is I'm compiling the game calling depth chart and just guessing what Packers will or will not play. I can't see them playing Evan Williams. I can't see them playing Xavier McKinney.
No.
Valentine should play. In fact, if I were them, I would play him to get some more reps.
Well, they just got Trayvon Diggs off the street, too.
He might play.
Just to fill space.
He might play. But for the first time since 2007, and Lorenzo Alexander with the then Washington Redskins, I have a player on both sides of the depth chart. Bo Melton corner, Bo Melton wide receiver. I mean, if they play Dobbs and if they play Reed and guys like that, Christian Watson, I don't see it. So, Scott Fish, fantasycares.org. Thank you very much.
Thank
Likewise
you,
for Thousand Hills and Chris Finch, coach of the Timberwolves. And the final tally would go like this. Nordo has Jackson Smith and Jigba, Derrick Henry, and Will Reichert's points. Alec Lewis, athletic.com. Jahmyr Gibbs, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Reichert's points. I have DeAndre Swift and CeeDee Lamb and Will Reichert's points. For Second Harvest Heartland, Feed My Starving Children, and the Kyrie Jackson Foundation. Cool. FantasyCares.org. Give it a look and help if you have it in you the way they help. We'll be right back. Hey, we have a big birthday this weekend. I don't exactly know where my man is, but Ian Fish, happy 13th birthday this weekend, wherever you are. And his dad, Scott, surprising or bringing him to the Vikings and Packers game. Border Battle 131 for Ian Fish's 13th birthday. Happy birthday, my brother, and congratulations. This is the Friday Football Feast at Buffalo Wild Wings Eagan. Each and every weekday, we do a segment called Viks Bits. Nordo, mad producers out there in the crowd with some Viks Bits. If anybody has any Vikings questions, put your hands up, and we will serve you. Nordo, take it away.
Indeed, Viks Bits is brought to you by Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. You can shop online. Box of meat shows up at your doorstep. Local Coburn's, Kowalski's locations, local co-ops. It's a Clearwater, Minnesota company, Matt, and everybody there supporting charity as well. Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. Now, if you do have a question, anybody that has a question during Viks Bites, a question for PA, a question for Alec, or for any of us, just raise your hand and I will find my way to you. My first one, though, is for Alec. In a season finale such as this, a border battle it is, competition, the whole thing, we just want to beat the pack and get out alive. What is one particular thing specifically on offense, other than J.J. McCarthy getting an opportunity this weekend, that intrigues you in an 8-8 radio finale?
Yeah, I mean, J.J. McCarthy is the headliner for everything I'm looking at on Sunday. But I'd say the offensive line, I mean, you just go back to last offseason, like spending on the interior and improving the interior was the entire conversation. And obviously the Vikings aren't going to have Ryan Kelly in this game, but Will Fries this year has been a little leaky in my opinion. Donovan Jackson, I feel like, has been pretty rock solid, even though he's navigated some injuries. So watching the O-line, thinking about the O-line into next year, Nordo, I kind of lost you. I thought you were out there. You're over there. That's probably what I'm looking at. What do you think about that?
No, I absolutely love it. And I'm curious what the next question is going to be. Viks
Bites.
What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Abby. I'm originally from Maple Grove, but I live in Washington, D.C.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us.
Can you hear me
awesome.
okay? I'm from Anacostia, Southeast, where RFK used to.
She knows that.
I know.
Oh, right on.
I live in Woodley Park.
I know where that is, for sure.
And I'm standing here with the 2024 Minnesota Vikings Fan of the Year.
Wow.
Hey! Congratulations.
We're among royalty today on a Friday.
That had to be an arduous task, Fan of the Year in the 2025.
Is she wearing a McGlothern jersey?
No, it's no.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just the year 20.
No, I mean, I thought that was...
She was until you put her on the Burrows team. Now she has a 9 of a different shade.
Good one.
All right, what is your question?
My question is, so we're probably going to be like 15, 16 draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
Are we thinking O-line? I'm hoping for a corner, a safety if Harrison Smith retires. Obviously not quarterback, not receiver, not running back. I don't think. What are we looking at in that 14, 15, 16, 17 pick where we're going to be?
Your name is Abby?
Abby.
Prince George's County?
Of course.
All
Familiar.
right. Nordo and I will go down this road because it feels like we're kindred souls from days gone by. Because with a game to go in the year, the last thing we want to talk about is the draft.
I want to talk about the draft. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you could take it away. I mean, if they got a bunch of picks.
Here's
no idea.
Here's what I'd say.
Thank you, Abby.
Cornerback is definitely on the top of my mind. Some tackle depth at some point. Center is kind of on the top of my mind. And then, I mean, if Jeremiah Love, the running back, makes it that far,
bro, you got names.
The guy, yeah. I mean, look, this is what I do. This is the job. But I think cornerback. There's a bunch of cornerbacks that will be in that pocket of the first round. That'll be interesting. So, Mansour Delane from LSU is a name I would keep in the back of your mind for the next few months.
And that's under the assumption, Abby, they have that first round pick coming up in the draft.
Are you saying they're going to trade it for something?
I mean, if they have that, they may not have. Say they don't have that one or the next one.
Yeah.
Or the next one.
Who do you want, Lamar Jackson?
You might need an edge to replace. Anyway, God bless you. Happy New Year. And
great question.
Yep, great question.
Viks!
I can't believe you haven't studied the draft yet.
No.
All right, I think we have another question from a fan here. What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Cody, and I'm from Apple Valley.
Give it up, Apple Valley.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, wait, is that the Cody who came on the Friday football feast like 3-4 years ago and talked for 5 or 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, my man, he's an elite football mind. I remember you.
All right, Cody, the elite football mind's got a question for the stable up top. What do you got?
Do you think Harrison Smith will make the Hall of Fame? If you do, why so?
Alec, I believe the way he's finishing is very eye-opening. It's not a cinch, but I'd say yes.
Yeah, I'd say yes too. Just a special career to do it all in one place. And I some of the Hall of Fame voting and like honors, it takes people to kind of get behind you. Like with Jared Allen, there was a lot of push from people, and Harrison will have that because of the way he's treated people, the way he's gone about it. So I would say, yeah, that's a good question.
Great question, brother. Thank you. Harrison Smith returning to the NFL. I mean, I think that thing's so tied to Brian Flores. If Flores comes back here, I think Harrison is above 50% to come back, but not much above.
If you'd asked me 6 weeks ago, I would have said no chance.
Me too.
But the way he's looked, and what cannot be lost in how he's looked recently is the personal health issue that he navigated at the beginning of the season not only slowed his start, but it chiseled away at the work he did physically leading into the season. So it took him a lot of time to get back right.
Yeah.
And this guy loves game days. He said in the past there's no replacement for what it's like to be on the field on game days. So if Brian Flores is back and Harrison's body feels right and family-wise he feels like he can navigate another season, I'm not going to put it past this guy. I've joked. Yep. I'll be here covering this team, and he'll be on the team. That's just how it is.
Viks!
All
right, we're going bar side here. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Josh. I'm from Cannon Falls. And my question is...
Well, hold on. I have a question for you. How are those Busch Lights tasting? See, after 11 years of being back in the studio and I'm here at the party, now I get to be at the party. Now I still can't have the Busch Lights, but I'm happy for you this morning, sir.
That's great.
Busch Light forever, baby.
That's great.
Hey, my question and comment is for all the J.J. McCarthy haters, which jersey?
Yeah, you're so proud you cover it up with overalls.
That was my wife's idea.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that was my wife's idea.
I like the overalls.
Hey,
yeah, so do I.
Why won't when will the J.J. McCarthy haters stop and leave it be? Give him some time. He's a rookie. He didn't get to participate in all the offseason stuff until now. Give him some time. I have faith in JJ. What are your thoughts about that? Are we going to go quarterback? I mean, everyone's saying bring in a old school quarterback or whatever. That's what we always do. I'm sick of it. Let's go with JJ, live with him, die with him. Amen, JJ.
Amen. Well,
JJ to JJ for payday.
Well, this I believe will be his 10th start this weekend.
I think so.
Yeah, 10th start. Okay, so as my taste goes, just for whatever, working the job that I work with the team for as long as I have, I've learned over the years that you got to give these newbies. I mean, like Drake May and Bo Nix, specifically May, this time last year, I mean, they weren't nearly as accomplished as they are now, especially May. So I'd like to give them 20 or 25 before I can really put a blanket over the whole thing. But that doesn't mean a veteran still can't come in as like a backup to push McCarthy. Alec and I'm speaking for Alec here, and I think he's going to agree. When it comes to, quote, the haters, end quote, I don't know about you, man. I can't. If you absorb every single bit of praise and bit of hate, so to speak, your head will explode. So, yes, there are detractors, and yes, there are those who get frustrated by the detractors, and they bang their fist down like, I know this guy is absolutely the right answer. Where I think it's foolish for anybody to say that, simply because the A topic with J.J. McCarthy is whether it's happenstance, these injuries, man. Play, stop, play, stop, play, stop, play, stop. That has to stop. That just has to stop. So that's my part of the answer. What about you?
What I would say is this. young quarterbacks need time. Oftentimes, regimes, coaches, GMs, they don't have that time. And so, threading the needle within those worlds is the conversation that we're going to have probably all offseason. JJ and the haters and all that stuff, the objective way to look at it is the performance has not been nearly good enough. It obviously got better from weeks 14 to 16, and you hope that it continues on that upward trajectory. And if that's the case, he will maintain this job. But as the Vikings enter next season, they cannot move forward without ensuring that the quarterback room hits a higher floor than it did this year. And that's just the bottom line. Whatever they do, whether it's roll with McCarthy as the starter, whether it's bringing competition to be the starter, they have to have the quarterback room at a floor that is playoff caliber and win a playoff game caliber, because this regime is entering their 5th season not having won a playoff game. So that's what I'd say. It's no hate on JJ. It's not he needs developmental time. There's no question. All quarterbacks do. Franchises don't, and not franchises. Franchises have time. Coaches, GMs, front office, they often don't have that time, and that is a hard world to navigate. And really, it's the job of ownership to ensure that those worlds are navigating for the betterment of the organization.
That's beautifully described. Final one. Vikes Bites back there with the number.
All right, what's your name? Where are you from, brother?
My name is Holden. I'm from Bloomington. And my question is, so I get into the draft in April, and something I've heard from social media everywhere is that we've struggled because we don't have depth, and especially drafting, because we're paying millions and millions of dollars for starters, but we don't have people behind them to go. And my question is, do we need to move on from Kwesi, especially drafting, and with how much we've just had busts?
Holden, Happy New Year. My part of that equation would be with Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and his regime. Okay, everybody, every idea, everything that comes with it. I believe into this year it would be premature to ponder something like that. And by the way, he did just get some form of contract extension into this year. And there being some type of insubordination issue, there isn't. So therefore, that would be the first part of the answer. Second part, the team has to draft better, and it has to start right now. And, when you get Grenard and Van Ginkel, Isaiah Rodgers had a pretty good year. Eric Wilson was a wonderful. There are a lot of good things Kwesi and his group have done. Jalen Redmond, wow, that's right at the top of the list. From a drafting standpoint, okay, we can win with Addison. I think McCarthy's going to be okay, but I think you got to wait. Donovan Jackson. We've done this too long to all right, well, let's go through every single one and go B-, D+, C-, and that determines whether somebody is in or out. Game doesn't work that way. There's a lot more that goes into that role than simply the draft. So, no, I don't believe something like that will happen into this year, into next year. I don't believe it should happen. But the A topic is that most of the drafting, with all due respect, has been poor. And drafting is the lifeblood of a team.
Yeah.
Free agencies like the prednisone, the steroids that you put in there to get the blood flowing. And
I've never heard that analogy. That's pretty good.
It's like the steroid where the drafting is the lifeblood. It has to be better.
What I would say is this.
Nice job.
Holden, it's a good question. The season will end Sunday, and then over the course of next week, there's going to be a lot of meetings and interviews, and there has to be a lot of evaluation from ownership on how the season went, the decisions that were made, who was behind all of the decisions, what the collaboration looked like, and then what the process has been. And that's really the way, how I expect ownership to answer this question is, was the process right?
Right.
And if the answer to that is yes, then it's hard moving forward to do something differently. If you feel like the process and the communication and the synergy is not right, then I think that's where you have those conversations. And it's hard to know on the outside.
Very fair.
It's hard to delineate and dissect that all from the outside, but that's really got to be the question. The draft, and you said it 100% accurate. They're going to have 9 or 10 picks in this upcoming draft, just like they had a ton of picks in 2022. They were awful in the 2022 draft, and this has to be a foundational draft moving forward for this team. And so whoever's in charge, whatever the process is, that has to be the situation for the 2026 NFL draft.
Brilliant. Thank you, Holden. Great job. Viks Bits, Nordo out in the crowd with the questions.
That was good stuff.
That was fantastic. When we return, we each are going to identify a team from the NFC we believe will go to the Super Bowl with a quick why, and we're going to tie it to an appliance. That's next on KFAN. Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings Egan for the final feast for the 2025 Minnesota Vikings season. Happy New Year to all of you on behalf of the 9 to noon trio here at Buffalo Wild Wings Egan. That would include Alec Lewis from The Athletic and theathletic.com. Subscribe if you are so inclined. It's very good. Nordo and I have been subscribers since day one. Read a lot of stuff there, follow a lot of stuff there. It's just very journalistically sound with some very talented writers. So athletic.com for that. Nordo, producer of 9 to Noon, and I'm Paul Allen. It behooves us once again to thank Sarah and Brian with Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com. They sponsor Alex Inclusion, 9 to Noon, each and every Friday. Nordo has worked with them for appliances.
Oh, yeah.
I've had family members use their Mounds View showroom to get some appliances, and a lot of people over the course of the last year have had faith and or believed in Steve's Appliances, either because they know them or they listen to KFAN or they listen to 9 to Noon.
I got a dishwasher showing up next Wednesday.
I was just going to say, you just got something.
It just,
right on.
It just doesn't end.
Fingerprint resistant?
Are you kidding me?
They are in Mounds View. They have a 7,000 square foot showroom. If you go to the website, stevesappliances.com, hit shop deals. That's just the start of deals. Guaranteed low prices. Also with free recycling and so much more. We love Steve's Appliances. I love Sarah and Brian. They're two of the kindest people I've met in a long time. And it's an honor to be able to endorse Steve's Appliances. And we have a lot of gratitude for them taking part in the Friday football feast the way they do. So we did this earlier in the season. And since this is our final feast, we figured we would close it this way too. Making a case for a team from the NFC to get to the Super Bowl and tying it to an appliance that you can get at Steve's Appliances, either in Mounds View or stevesappliances.com. And we didn't go over who has which team and why. If we have the same team, great. If we don't, that's fine too. I'm going to make a case for the Chicago Bears to go to the Super Bowl. In fact, they're 8.5, 9 to 1. And if I were in spot up mode, I would play them at that number.
Wow.
This is not a blind stab. Okay. They're teams that we think can represent Super Bowl 60 in a wide open year, for the NFC and the AFC. And, with the Chicago Bears, for me, the appliance is going to be the GE Profile stainless steel over-the-range microwave. The website, stevesappliances.com. Shop deals, you'll find it. You can save up to $200 on this high-end microwave. Why am I using a microwave with the Bears? Because, they pushed start, and this sucker got hot in a minute. And it stayed hot, and what's coming out of it is very, very good. Here's the context. The coach matters. Everybody's talked about that a million times. Ben Johnson, the coach matters, very good at what he does. That Niners game got me over the hump on this take because it's scoring with a team that was scoring a ton of points. That was a little bit of a concern of mine thinking about who's going to the Super Bowl. They went toe-to-toe with a coach who might win Coach of the Year on the road and should have won the game, but DeAndre Swift ran the wrong route at the end and they got befuddled. So the fact that they've now shown us we can score with you. They also took the Green Bay Packers' best shot a couple of weeks ago and won a low-scoring game. How about the game after Thanksgiving? When you go to Philadelphia and you win a low-scoring game against the Eagles, you're on my radar. And I don't care how enigmatic or mercurial people think the Eagles are. They're still the Eagles, and they're tough to beat at Lincoln Financial. So the run that they get from their non-stars and players like DeAndre Swift, I mean, I think the Chicago Bears are going to the Super Bowl. So that's my Super Bowl selection from the NFC. Nordo?
Well, I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. And we're going to get to see them, of course, Saturday night, tomorrow night, as they seek out the 1 seed. And if everything goes through Santa Clara, they might be playing a Super Bowl in their home stadium in early February. To match that up, I picked the Speed Queen DR7 7 cubic foot white front load electric dryer. Now, electric is key to this because the Niners can be electric.
I love it.
But the big key, look into dryers, all those that care about their appliances, go to stevesappliances.com. Speed Queen is like industrial grade. You can throw a freaking brick in this thing and it's going to operate forever. The fact that Shanahan has found a way, half of his defense is hurt, to the point where their demise might just be they run out of healthy bodies, really.
Right.
But in the end, whether it's figuring out how do we get beyond Kittle, Brandon Ayuk went insane. What do we do? Ricky Pearsall's in and out with little nicks and bruises here and there. Old Faithful, no matter what, Christian McCaffrey carrying this offense, the durability of the Niners in combination with the maturity and the high-end coaching is why, specifically if the Niners win tomorrow night, they will be going to the Super Bowl. I do look at it on both sides of the equation, AFC, NFC. Do you got to go to Mile High? Do you got to go to Gillette? On the NFC side, you got to go to Seattle. You got to go to the Bay.
Yep.
I think it's played out this way statistically. The 1 seeds are finding their way into the big game.
Love it.
And so I'm taking my Speed Queen electric dryer. I'm matching it with the 49ers, and I'm heading to Santa Clara in February.
StevesAppliances.com to find that electric dryer. What about you, Al?
Don't actually put a brick in your appliance.
I can't believe you guys are leaving me the Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, the Los Angeles Rams, if I'm not mistaken, their coach is still Sean McVay.
Yep.
Good.
Their quarterback is still Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
Their receivers are still Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. And their defense is very multiple with a great front and coordinated well by Chris Shula.
Yep.
They
look good in Atlanta.
They have dropped 2 games recently. They lost to the Seahawks in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, my Steve's appliance is the Frigidaire smudge-proof
that's a key.
stainless steel double electric wall oven.
Nobody better.
They are smudge-proof. They have some smudges.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, losing to Atlanta and losing Seattle is not going to mitigate the Rams from going on the road and winning games in the playoffs. Again,
Agreed.
When you have Sean McVay, you have Matthew Stafford, you are as multiple as they are on both sides of the football, and their lines of scrimmage win. Just like college football yesterday, in the playoffs, this is a line of scrimmage game. I trust the Rams on both sides of the football.
Are they going to get their left tackle back?
I really hope so.
Because
it's going to help them to be smudge-proof. All right?
Wow. Was DJ Humphries awful?
Yeah. DJ Humphries, you don't want to see. Yes, felonious in 48 states.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no. The Rams, the smudge-proof double electric wall oven.
Andrew Whitworth was watching Humphries play and started doing push-ups.
Well, if it
just in case.
If it had been a prime game, he's walking onto the field.
That's right.
He would have gone straight into the locker room and suited up.
And then he signed back just like Frank Ragnow, had a grade 3 hamstring strain. The Rams for me.
Yeah, they're favored.
The Rams are just. It's a team I would stick with. Seattle's interesting. Their defense is just absurd beyond belief.
McDonald can win on the road too.
He can. And
I don't think that defense is absurd beyond belief. when we get to this next level. Okay, I think it's good. It's very good. Don't get me wrong. I like the corners. Witherspoon, I've always felt is a little.
He's great.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's.
You don't like Witherspoon?
I do, but he's one of those players, kind of like Sauce Gardner, where everybody's just pounding into my mind how unbelievable Dion-like they are, and they're not.
You know, they have their interior defender, Byron Murphy the second. He's great. He would have been here had he not been picked 16th in the 2024 draft, I believe, probably.
Yeah. You know who's going to help the Bears? Tooney. Joe Tooney.
He's great.
4-time Super Bowl winner.
He's smudge-proof.
Yeah, he's smudge-proof. Jonah Jackson and Drew Dahlman, those guys have played so well this year. I never would have guessed that.
That strategy, they entered the offseason wanting to revamp their interior to help that entire offense, and they did it to a great level with those three guys.
Well, that's the lamentation that we're having now is, hey, we wanted a new left guard. We go and draft one. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
And he's going to grow up, and hopefully he starts a ton of games, helps us win a ton of games. Hey, they go out and get Drew Dahlman. Hey, we come in with Ryan Kelly, like just the nuance, the simplicity of when it works versus when it doesn't work, and the conversations that come off of that.
That's also a run-first operation. The Bears are a run-first smash-mouth operation.
And see, that's the biggest chance outside of the coach. And he's not afraid of anything. No. And this thing is high level hit legit now. When you're able to go out there and score that many points against anybody a week removed from winning a lower scoring game in dramatic fashion, Ben's showing you I can win them when they're low, and I can win them or be right there at the wire when we're getting up there around 80 points. But what you said is key, because the Rams with Jared Verse, Kobe Turner, all those cats, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, don't get me wrong. Kobe Turner is a bigger guy. He's a true nose tackle-ish, 3-technique run stopper. I just think that you can push those guys around in the running game if it's done the right way. And for Johnson, don't be surprised if all of a sudden we're in the postseason and we see like Hunter Smythe as the up back, the H back, doing things that we didn't see all year. That's what makes him good.
Can you guys believe? If you'd have told me Caleb looked like this season, I would have not believed.
No
it.
chance.
So I wonder what.
And that's on the back of the run game.
Yeah,
I agree. It's huge.
So, ladies and gentlemen, coming up around the corner, a very, very special guest joining us on site at Buffalo Wild Wings Eagan. This individual rarely makes public appearances. We'll tell you who it is when we return to Buffalo Wild Wings Eagan on KFAN.